In this video we will discuss the meaning behind Rancid songs. Maxwell Murder. They have mixed feelings about this opening song. It's a fast and aggressive opening, and it's honestly a pretty good song. They really think it's the weakest track on the album, and it bothers them when some technical music lovers talk about how great the bass solo is. However, the lyrics are a bit weird. It seems this song is about drug dealers, and it uses British emergency numbers rather than America. Perhaps the meaning of the song is that the drug dealer may not belong to Jack the Ripper, but also the killer. It could also be a reference to the Beatles' Maxwell's Silver Hammer. The 11th Hour. The 11th hour was when the album really started for me. The phrase 11th hour describes the time just before a deadline or important event. It started like a Clash song, and then came the little guitar lead that reminded me of Replacement's Nowhere Is My Home. The lyrics to me are about depression, and the narrator is talking to a girl who is dealing with depression, and tells her that she is the one who can do something about her state of mind. It ends with the narrator talking about their own depression, and there are references to Specials and Elvis Costello. It's also possible that the last verse was seen from the girl's point of view. The song was co-written with Eric Din from Uptones. He also co-wrote Out of My Mind from the first self-titled and Name from Let's Go. Roots Radicals. Roots Radicals is the first single from the album. The fantastic thing about this song is that it's basically about getting on the bus, like most of Rancid's catalog. This song tells the story of how Lars' life changes on this bus trip. Maybe this trip is his trip to Edinburgh. This song has many references to punk rock and reggae music. The chorus of Give 'Em the Boot is a pun on actual boots, and getting the boot, and the song is also a compilation put out by record label Tim Hellcat. Another reference is Desmond Decker, and the title refers to Jimmy Cliff and Bunny Wailer. Ben Zanato was a friend of Lars, who died of an overdose in 1999. He was also part of the Skunks movement. Moon Stomping refers to Cimarip's great reggae song Skinhead Moonstomp, about stomping to let the man on the moon hear it, and has become a popular dance for skinheads. Even with all their reggae references, the song is pretty straight-up punk rock. They played it live on Saturday Night Live November 18, 1995. The single version was a different record, as they re-recorded it for the album. Time Bomb. Same as Roots Radicals, it also refers to reggae and ska culture as also a ska song. It may be their most famous song. I remember it was played on Gilmore Girls. Like Maxwell Murder, it's a song that has become a catchy single, but its meaning is actually quite depressing. Time Bomb tells the story of a boy who fits the stereotype of a typical rough boy, but he has been through trouble all his life and he doesn't know how to face the world, and he gets shot in the end. The song was also a hit on the modern rock charts, and it reached number 8. Olympia Wall. I think it sounds like a football song or a sports anthem. Sing-along choir always makes me smile. By the time I was 15 and I remember wanting to start smoking or some other bad habit, I could hide from my parents. While the song might remind me a bit of hooligans starting fights with supporters from other teams like Business or Cockney Rejects or something, it's actually a love song. Tim sings about hanging out with Lars, and I interpret it as he's heartbroken or missing someone and feels like the devil, and he and Lars hang out with Puerto Rican girls at a funhouse in New York playing lonely pinball machines. I feel like the image of a pinball machine shows how Tim feels, being in a home full of fun, but still feeling lonely. The chorus is about how she is in New York, but misses being at Olympia, Washington. The loneliness he feels is even more present in the last two verses. The second verse ends with him watching thousands of people come home from work. In the third verse he simply concludes, "I don't want to be alone again." There's something burning deep inside of me, Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho was also quite successful on the modern rock charts, and was at number 13. According to Wikipedia, it was released just 2 days after the Time Bomb on November 3rd. Billboard says Time Bomb was charted in October, and Ruby Soho was charted in January. I wonder what Wikipedia has to say in their defense. Like the other 2 singles, the reggae references in this song don't go unnoticed either. The opening line is, "Reggae echoes come through my bedroom walls." When I first heard the song, I thought it was kind of catchy, but silly, especially the chorus, but it's actually a really good song. I think the lyrics are much more sophisticated than expected from the title track. I think the lyrics are beautiful, fragile, descriptive, and even poetic. It also tells a good story from a compelling narrative and covers 2 levels of loneliness. The narrator sat alone in their room, feeling alone listening to the farewell that took place at the next party, realizing that there was nothing they could do about it. We know the girl's name Ruby Soho, but not the guy who left her. My throat always choked every time I heard the 3rd verse, his lover in the distance, when he wiped the tears from his eyes, Ruby faded, he disappeared, it's time to say goodbye. Jimmy Cliff did a cover of that song, and it won a Grammy, and Tim Armstrong produced it.